Okay, while we wait, I just want to do a brief introduction to our panelists this morning. Jose Valles Puerto, he is from ISS. He is the regional sales manager for ISS. He's going to give us a short introduction while we wait on the additional attendees to join us. Jose?
Thank you, Katrina. Yes, we want to thank you, all of you, for joining us today for this webinar. The intention behind this webinar with joint forces between Bolide and ISS is to, inform, teach, educate, and show how we both together have works and enhance, improve, and add efficiency to the operations in our region. What is our latest technology that we can offer to reduce costs but more efficient? So to give you a very brief sample, the damage for containers for ports worldwide is a market over $72 billion, and it's growing. So one of our solutions we want to show together with the combination of Bolide cameras and ISS analytics based on AI, how we can make it possible and how we can make it possible. So in this session, you guys feel free to ask any questions you have, because the intention is that we can let you know, educate, and inform you on this. So thank you once again to join us today. And this is a beginning of a collaboration together of other verticals. We're going to focus and to show how we have done it. One of those we have done before is we have success cases in Mexico, doing about smart city and other areas, but this can be another topic. Later on, we can invite you to join us again. So I think thank you again, guys, and we hope you enjoy this webinar. Thank you, Katrina.
You're most welcome. Thank you, Jose. Good afternoon again to all the attendees. Thank you for joining us. I know right now is pretty hectic for most people, so I really appreciate you taking the time out to join us. While we share with you the benefits of the collaboration of our two companies, i.e. Bolide with our hardware, our surveillance cameras, and ISS with their artificial intelligence software. A cohesive partnership to, in turn, share the advances in technology, but also to boost operational efficiency and to bring some level of situational awareness to the ports and by extension, any of our customers who are out there looking for these types of solutions for their customers. Thanks again for joining us. My name is Katrina Scantlebury. As I mentioned earlier, I am the Territory Business Manager for the Caribbean at Bolide. Jose Valles at Porto, he is the Regional Sales Manager for ISS, or AI Software Partners. And today we're going to be bringing you some insightful information on how we can boost operational efficiency by leveraging technology and software that we have in today's surveillance world. Who we are. Bolide, we are a US manufacturer of surveillance products. We've been in the industry for over 30 years. Started from humble beginnings, creating covert cameras for law enforcement and private investigators. And over the years, our portfolio has extended to a wide range of surveillance products that we have today. So we have surveillance cameras, we have the traditional analog, we have IP, we also have body cams. So 4G body cams are available, and we also have mobile surveillance solutions for your vehicles. Along with our hardware, we have 20 plus free analytics on the edge of our cameras. And in this webinar, we will showcase how we can leverage those edge analytics and further boost them with the advances in ISS's AI technology. We offer local support for Latin America and the Caribbean. Our US-based technical support team is ready to be deployed or to answer any technical questions that may arise in your projects or at the point of creating a project. We provide project design, BOM preparation, commissioning, and post-implementation support. All of our cameras have the ONVIF compliance. We are at the latest profile right now, which is Profile M, which stands for metadata. We are fully NDAA compliant and also TAA compliant. Enterprise cameras on our recorders and surveillance infrastructure backed by our Q&A processes. On the other hand, we have ISS, who is our AI surveillance software provider, as I mentioned. ISS manufactures and ensures that the video intelligence side of any surveillance solution is operational, and in collaboration with our hardware, offers a wide range of features, but also some advances for our customers. We have an open platform for integration, so any integrations that we need to perform, we have the ability to do so, both on Bolide and also on ISS. And with the collaboration of both our solutions, we have the ability to provide real-time alerts and operational visibility in the port and at any of our customers. The solution that we've prepared for you today, on the Bolide side, we've selected our IPAC range of camera solutions. I did mention just now that we have 3 or 4 different ranges of products, but we are focusing mainly for the port today and how we can leverage surveillance cameras in collaboration with the ISS software to boost operational efficiency. So we have high resolution cameras. We select anywhere from 5 megapixel all the way up to 12 megapixels. We have edge analytics, as I mentioned, so 20 plus edge analytics on our cameras to detect, classify people, vehicles, activity, and ensure that the security officers within the port have some way of having a digital footprint, but also have the opportunity to have capture data when vehicles and passengers traverse through and the port, and ensure that this data is retrievable when investigations are required. We do have real-time metadata, as I mentioned, and this metadata can be exported, it can be reviewed, it can be exported, and we can also respond to incidents a lot quicker once we have the collaboration with the AI software. Event search and insights, structured metadata accelerates investigations, as we know, finding events faster, ensuring that security has a way of finding incidents, recording them, and having the ability to act quickly. In a port scenario, the ports of entry on a day-to-day basis, thousands of passengers, thousands of vehicles are passing through the ports on a daily basis. And for us in the Caribbean, mostly we have still the traditional means of gathering data or collecting data, which is writing it in a book. With the advances in technology today, we have cameras that have AI capabilities. We have dedicated AI software that can help leverage the ability to capture this data in a faster way and a more efficient way, and in turn offers some level of situational awareness, and also to give the officers a level of security when they're doing their revisions. All of our cameras are NDAA compliant, as I mentioned, and also TAA. And in the ports and in most of the government procurement processes, we're seeing a lot of requests for NDAA compliant cameras, but also NDAA compliant softwares. So rest assured that this compliance lies with both our companies. So if you're looking for those types of solutions, please feel free to reach out to your customers or reach out to your partners and let them know that both Bolide and ISS have the capabilities of that NDAA compliance. We spoke about the gates and passengers and vehicles traversing in and out of the ports. The first point of entry into the port, we want to ensure that the officers or the security team has the visibility that's required to document and rely on the information that's being fed to them on a day-to-day basis. Normally, when you come into the ports, you have an officer who's at the gate, he's manning the gate, he's taking the information of the driver, he's also taking the information of the vehicle type, the license plate number. Now we have cameras that can leverage this type of information for the officers. We can create things like a loud list, blacklist, whitelist, ensuring that vehicles or persons who are not supposed to be traversing in the port are flagged whenever they come on premise. Entry and exit registration, understanding the types of vehicles, and now we can classify that by color, by the type of vehicle that it is, the license plate that came into the property at the time, and also captured by way of facial recognition, the driver that's driving that vehicle. History by plate, date, and time, we have this ability to go back in time and have this level of data that's available instead of having to manually go through a physical book. and look for this information. If by some reason, and we all know when investigations arise, it may have occurred 2 or 3 months ago, and having the ability to quickly go into a software, quickly go into a system, type in a name, type in a license plate, or some level, some character of that plate, some characteristics of that vehicle or that person, and have the ability to have multiple instances within that time frame of that vehicle and of that person. So these are the types of capabilities that we're going to be able to bring to the port and ensure that the technology and also the operational efficiency is on par with where we are today in the world with technology. As you can see here on the far right, when the vehicle comes to the gate, it creates an LPR event. And that LPR event captures the license plate of that vehicle. Because we have surveillance cameras, we also capture the type of vehicle that it is, the color, the make, and model. These are all informations and data that can be logged within your system for future use. We also have the ability to integrate with access control. Whereas if you have the vehicles that are registered within your property, this can be employees, this can be delivery vehicles, any vehicle that's allowed within your premise on the port, you can register that license plate within the system. And with the integration of access control, we can now trigger that gate barrier or that arm to open or stay closed based on the plate information of that vehicle. So traditionally, before the officer would say, yes, this vehicle is allowed to come into our property, and he would then open the gate for the vehicle to pass in. Now with technology, we can definitely leverage the cameras and the LPR instance to allow that vehicle into the property without the need for the officer to intervene. This offers greater vehicle control and traceability for all vehicles that are within your property. It also gives you a level of visibility for how many vehicles are on the property at any given time. When we speak about emergencies, understanding how many passengers or how many people traverse into the port, how many have left. In the event of emergency, we know that when we muster, there's a head count that needs to be performed. Now we understand how many passengers are in, how many persons are within that port, and how many people that we need to look for at that muster point. So there are many benefits to having surveillance and also AI technology. We've classified the vehicle. Now we have the ability to classify the person. So we have intelligent vehicle and people detection. So this detection allows us to differentiate between objects. In traditional surveillance, we would log this as a motion event, just a typical motion event, and you would not understand if that motion was triggered by a human or was it triggered by a vehicle or any other object. Now we have the ability at the edge of our Bolide cameras to classify objects, and we can classify vehicles and we can classify people. This pops up as an event within the software in collaboration with ISS, where we get human detection and we also get vehicle detection. This in turn reduces false alarms because we know what actually triggered the alarm, what object triggered the alarm, especially when security officers need to do a patrol. We know that this is indeed a human that breached the perimeter or breached the area where they're not supposed to be traversing, or it's a vehicle that breached that area. Detects relevant movement. This comes in very handy at night, especially when the security officers are stationed at their booths. Instead of having false alarms, each time something is triggered, they have to go take a look or investigate. We have the ability to classify the object that has triggered that event. Event-based recording, as I mentioned, so we can determine if we're going to record based on these types of events that came into the scene. Better use of storage. We're not just recording motion, we're just recording realistic events that have occurred. And faster, which in turn creates faster incident investigations. And I want to stick there for a minute because I've been in the security industry for over 15 years now, and I've had the ability to train multiple security officers on the surveillance solutions that we have. When it comes time to do an investigation, not understanding the time and date that the incident occurred, Maybe you have some vague information that came from another employee or from a passenger that may have misplaced something. They don't remember the time that the incident occurred. They maybe don't remember the date or when the incident occurred. Now we have classification of objects. We have the ability to classify a person. Maybe they lost or misplaced, someone was left behind. Now we can enter information like colors of the clothes, the type of hair that the person has, the shoes that they were wearing, the clothes that they were wearing, or similarly with the vehicle, the type of vehicle it was, the color of the vehicle, the license plate registration of that vehicle. Now we can do independent searches with this type of information by entering this data within your software. Traditionally, with investigations, this used to take security officers days, sometimes hours to retrieve footage from the incident. And now with the advances in technology, we can cut down that time and ensure that we are being operationally efficient. On our PTZ camera, these cameras that I'll take you through shortly are the cameras that we've purposely selected for the port's environment. Because the environment has so many different moving parts, we want to be able to ensure that we have a movable camera that can zoom, it can also tour, and it also has the advances in the technology that I mentioned. So we have our 4K intelligent PTZ with edge analytics on the camera itself. Total coverage over wide port areas, high mass, and critical approach points. So on our 4K PTZ, which is one of a kind in the surveillance industry right now, we have on board the PTZ facial recognition, license plate recognition. It has auto tracking, so it automatically tracks a subject based on what the object has been classified. Is it a person? Is it a vehicle? We can auto track those objects in and around the scene of that PTZ. We have active deterrent lights, two-way audio, which allows the security officers or whoever is manning the PTZ at the moment to physically speak through the PTZ, and the persons in those areas have the ability to hear what's happening. In many instances, we've seen passengers disembarking from the cruise ships, and they may be in areas where they're not supposed to be. Security, instead of having to physically go over to the berth of where the ship is docked, you can now speak through the cameras, or we can leverage the use of an external speaker so that you can speak to those guests, those passengers, or anyone that's in that area, and let them know you're not supposed to be in those areas at those times. Ultra 4K HD resolution. We have a 37x optical zoom, so this zooms pretty far, over 400 feet. And we have all of these analytics on the edge of the PTZ. We also have the joystick that's readily available for the PTZ. So if you need to maneuver the PTZ at any time, you can leverage that joystick. And everything you need is in one smart PTZ. So we've had these stationed on perimeters, potentially on the berths as well, in the cargo area where the cargo is being delivered, to ensure that security has full visibility, but also in those long range, hard to reach areas, the ability to zoom without pixelation and still have the ability to see beyond their physical eye. This is a quick video showing you the auto tracking and object classification in motion. You can see here in this video, the PTZ is actually auto touring, but in that auto tour moment, it actually picked up on movement and it classified these objects, and it's going to auto track them until they are no longer seen within the scene. So this is the same concept for a port. If we need to track a particular person or a vehicle, we have the ability to do that with the auto tracking feature, where it differentiates between the objects, understanding if it's a person or if it's a vehicle. And that camera will continuously track those subjects, and it can be multiple subjects in the scene as well. So we'll auto track those subjects. And we can definitely leverage this for the port scenarios, especially in the peak hours at night when there's not supposed to be any movement in or around certain areas. Understanding if there is a breach, then we can track that intruder all the way until we need to. On the PTZ, we have the 360 movable, motionable camera, but we also have a stationary fixed 360 camera, which is our multi-sensor. It has four sensors, so four different cameras. It supports one cable, so one Ethernet cable runs to the camera, even though it supports four different lenses. It has a full 360-degree coverage around the camera, four independent sensors, as I mentioned. Analytics per sensor. Now, this is a big thing for us on this multi-sensor. Traditionally, with multi-sensors, if you wanted to use facial recognition would be across all four lenses. Similarly, with LPR, if you needed LPR would be across all four lenses. With our multi-sensor, we have the ability to leverage all 20 of those analytics that I mentioned. So you can determine which analytic you're going to have on which lens based on the scene the camera is seeing. So this provides fewer blind spots. As we know with BDT, there are some blind spots, and we can potentially alleviate those blind spots with the multi-sensor. It covers more area with fewer devices. Traditionally, we see on the perimeter of building, on the external of a building, similarly within a court, you would see multiple cameras on a pole, or you would see multiple cameras on a building. Now we can have four cameras in one, and we can have one cable running to the camera. So your infrastructure immediately cuts down. So we cut costs there, and we're able to leverage those analytics on the camera itself, and also in turn with ISS's video intelligence to further boost the intelligence around your property. It's ideal for entrances, perimeters, and yards. We've seen these deployed in the yards, especially where the cargo is being off-listed, where it's being stored on the perimeters of the property, where multiple cameras are required to cover a wide range area. We can then leverage these multi-sensors to eliminate the need for so many devices. It improves visibility across wide areas, as I mentioned, and reduces installation and operation costs with one Ethernet cable. More coverage, more intelligence, one single camera. Another camera that we selected for the port environment is our thermal camera. So this is a bike spectrum thermal camera for early detection. And we want to ensure that we can have this early detection on hand and not just have a surveillance camera pointing at the high-risk areas without any intelligence behind it. So on this camera, we can detect over temperature. So if the temperature has increased, the threshold that we have programmed in the camera has increased, we get an alert. We also know if there's a spark. So anytime sparks flare within those areas, the camera can detect that. It detects smoke, and it also detects fire. So easily security has the ability to see, but also know that there is indeed a fire within that area. It has two-way audio on board, so security also has the ability to speak through this camera and let persons know that they need to vacate the particular area where this smoke or fire or spark was detected. Automatic alarms in real time. So this means that security gets these alerts immediately, and we want to be proactive instead of reactive. So having a camera like this in the high-risk areas, especially areas where temperature is a big factor, we want to ensure that we can be proactive, understand that there's smoke, understand that a spark was detected before it even gets to a fire. This in turn saves on costs for replacements. We cannot replace life, but we want to ensure that we know that there is an issue in this particular area, especially if persons are within that area. It has two lenses. One is the thermal lens and the other is the optical lens. So you get two different views within the camera. That thermal lens is going to be the detection, and your optical lens is your traditional CCTV lens. So your visible lens will detect vehicle and human classifications, and it's ideal for perimeters, electrical rooms, and high-risk zones, as I mentioned. Early detection, visible verification, and more intelligence in one camera. The threshold for these particular areas are programmable. So we can program the normal temperature or in an ideal situation for these areas. And if that threshold is breached above or below, then the camera starts to react and send some alerts, both physically in the location where the camera is, because it has a speaker on board of it. So it's going to send an audible alarm to let the persons in that area know that there is some level of fire, spark, or smoke, and they need to vacate. This is a quick example of that spark detection. In this scenario, we've been using just a lighter so that we can show you the camera has the ability to detect when a spark is detected. Here you can see that we are just testing it. We're not actually activating the lighter, but now it's been activated and that spark has been detected from the camera. A number of things can happen here when that spark is detected, as I mentioned. The alarm is triggered as an event within the system. Security has the ability to review that alarm immediately because it pops up on the screen to let them know that there's an issue in there. And they can speak to the camera and let the persons in the area know that they need to vacate if needed. But they also have the ability to act immediately when this trigger has been activated. We also have a long range thermal camera. This is in the form of a PTZ. It's best for perimeters. It goes way beyond 4,000 feet that the camera can see. So we have a long range thermal lens. We also have that optical lens for further visibility. We have long range visible lens, as I mentioned, more than 4,000 feet. We also have the auto tracking that we mentioned in the traditional PTZ that we mentioned before. We have 24-hour detection. So this has the ability to classify objects as well. We can classify persons, vehicles, and other objects like drones, any moving parts within the property. This PDZ has the ability to detect. It's ideal for perimeters, high-risk areas, rooftops, and open areas. Typically on the berths, having the ability to see when the ships are coming into port. Maybe you want to see what's happening on the ship, the captain, if he's signaling to the relevant persons within the port. We can also see this from a distance, a very long distance as well. And for those longer perimeter, outside of the perimeters, we have the ability to leverage that long distance zoom. We have early detection in either day or night, greater coverage with fewer devices because we have a PTZ, we have the optical lens, we have the thermal lens, and we have classification on board of the camera. More visibility for preventative security. And real-time alerts, as we know, enable immediate response across logistics and critical infrastructure environments. This, as I know, will come in very handy in many areas within the ports, ensuring that not just thermal coverage is there, but optical in one camera. Along with the thermal cameras that we have, what's a major thing for us as well, especially within the port, is infrastructure. Sometimes you want to deploy a camera in a particular location because visibility is low for the security team, but there's no infrastructure or there's no easy way to get infrastructure to the particular location. So in this scenario, we can leverage our 5 megapixel 4G solar camera. It's an intelligent security camera. It's fully autonomous. It can be deployed anywhere. The solution comes with the solar panel, it comes with the camera, and it comes with a battery. And this battery, without any sunlight, can be operational for up to 7 days without sunlight. For us in the Caribbean, we don't typically see many days without sun. Even if we have rain, the sun peaks out at some point. So 7 days without sunlight and still be operational is a pretty big win for us in the security industry. So we have solar power. It's completely dependent on solar from the sun and without the use of the electrical grid. Continuous operation without electrical grid. We know there are multiple power outages. We know that there is limitations in means of the infrastructure that can be deployed around the port. We can now leverage solar power to power this camera. We have 4G and Wi-Fi connectivity, which ensures that the use of an Ethernet cable is not required. We leverage that 4G connectivity SIM card within the camera to push the video and data to your software. So this is reliable for transmission for remote locations in and around the port and those hard to reach areas where infrastructure is a limitation. Edge recording is also available on this camera with the SD card recording. We go up to 512 gigabytes on this camera. It also has two-way audio. So again, we can leverage that two-way audio to speak to persons within that area. It has edge analytics. So we have license plate recognition on the solar camera. We have object classification, so people and vehicle detection, understanding in these remote areas if the motion that's been detected has been breached by a person or a vehicle, which is critical in remote areas. And this solution is truly autonomous. As I mentioned, it works with the solar power, 4G connectivity, no cabling, no electrical infrastructure is required. So fast implementation, simple implementation, and it's ready to deploy in those agile projects. It's also easy to relocate. Sometimes within the port, we may set up a stationary or a remote location that will be deployed just for temporary use. Once that use has been ended, now we can deploy this camera in other locations without the need to worry about infrastructure, worry about cabling, and worrying about getting the connectivity to the camera. So if we need to relocate this camera at any time, we have the ability to do so. So it's ideal for remote locations. As I mentioned, it's standalone, it's flexible, it's reliable, and it's all offered to you within our solar camera. We also have another solar camera that was just recently launched. Instead of one camera, it comes with two cameras, so we can potentially have back-to-back cameras on the solar panel. And then coming soon, we will have a small PVZ solar camera. So we have the bullet camera in single. We have dual bullet cameras, and just soon for now, we will have a PGZ camera as well. It's a quick video on the solar camera just to give you further appreciation for its capabilities and what this solution offers.
Security evolves into a new era of intelligent autonomy. Introducing the Intelligent Solar Camera from Bolide Technology Group. Capture every detail with high-definition imaging and maximum precision monitoring. 2K technology designed to deliver superior clarity in any environment. Continuous protection day and night with advanced night vision. Built-in 4G connectivity for real-time remote surveillance from anywhere. Integrated smart analytics for precise detection and immediate response. An AI-driven solution to protect critical environments. Autonomous operation thanks to its high-efficiency solar charging system. Designed for fast, flexible, and completely standalone installation. Ideal for remote areas, agriculture, construction, mining, and critical infrastructure. Maximum performance even in the most demanding environments. Bolide Technology Group. Intelligence that protects the present and designs the future of security.
Additionally, along with the cameras that we've selected for the port, we also have a video doorbell that has an access control component that we can leverage. It supports facial recognition. It has an RFID reader. So your traditional RFID business cards can work with the reader. It has a call button. So if you need to speak to reception or to security as a visitor, you can also push that button and get some assistance. It has remote opening, so if we need to remotely open or trigger a door or any type of access control, we can do that. It has the I/O and WAN output, so we can connect different devices to the doorbell as well. So we can connect your MyLock, your request to exit switch. We have the ability to understand two-way authentication, facial recognition plus RFID. So two-step authentication on this unit with the facial recognition and also with your badge. So as we know with the traditional RFID cards, sometimes an employee may come to work and they forget their card. Maybe I want to borrow Jose's card so I can enter one of the areas I'm not supposed to enter. Now with the advances in security, we can leverage that two-step authentication. Yes, I can give you my badge, but I can't give you my face. So with that two-step authentication, we can ensure that those secure areas remain secure by leveraging that face. So with your face is step one, with your RFID card, step two, now you're granted access into the space. Those edge analytics that I mentioned with the facial recognition, people counting, and more, this is also across the RFID reader. We have edge recording for standalone operation. So even though it's an RFID reader and video doorbell, This also sits within our software as an event to let you know who exactly has been maneuvering through your offices or your high security areas. Better access control to sensitive areas, as I mentioned, with that two-step authentication, enables automatic validation or remote manual release for the security officers without the need to remove themselves from their base and open doors for visitors. It improves visitor and staff traceability and reduces unauthorized access. So understanding 1.1 coming through the entrance gates or any of the entry and exit points within the port, but also understanding where that person has been traversing on your premise while they're within the port's vicinity. One device to validate, communicate, and control access. Operational benefits, a scalable solution for ports, cruise terminals, free zones, and logistics parts with the leveraging of our Bolide cameras and also ISS's software, which improves their security posture, earlier threat detection, lower false alarms, faster responses. This is a very big thing for security and making sure that we reduce false alarms and ensure that they have faster responses to incidents. Better situational awareness, one platform for video, metadata, alarms, and reporting. So even though we're two different companies, we have one centralized platform for both solutions to work cohesively. Faster operations, automated trucks, containers, and credible processing at busy gates. And ISS will get into this in more details shortly so that we can understand the software component of how this continuous solution will be deployed and operational for the security team. Scalable deployment supports CCTVs plus new solar cameras, the thermal cameras, the PTZ cameras, and also the multi-sensor cameras. These are the cameras that we've purposely selected for this type of vertical, and it ensures that we can leverage less cameras, less infrastructure, and more operational efficiency for the security teams. Why Bolide and why ISS, a complete end-to-end solution for the port security systems. As I mentioned, ISS provides the intelligence, so the softwares, the workflows, the data, and the VMS. Bolide provides the infrastructure, so the solar cameras, the thermal cameras, the PTZs, the multi-sensors, AI cameras, and the recording infrastructure. Combined, we have the ability to offer an open and scalable architecture, which is easily deployable across small terminals, enterprise ports, multi-site, and regional operations. We also provide collaboratively the regional support for both the hardware and the software, commercial, technical, and project support for distributors, integrators, and our customers. We offer this as an integrated AI solution that provides imaging automation for smart ports and operations. Thank you for your time. If you would like, please feel free to scan the QR code here. And ISS will now get into the software side of our presentation to further bring home the solution together and show the cohesiveness of how the hardware and the software work hand in hand to boost your operational efficiency. Over to you, José.
Katrina, but first, before we move forward, we have a few questions online for you. I think Rudy make a few questions regarding only the PDC can track a person, or there are fixed cameras can do it the same. This question from Rudy.
Thanks for your question, Rudy. At this moment, the PTZs are the only cameras that are doing the auto tracking. So we have thermal PTZ and we have the traditional PTZ.
Now, Rudy, going forward in your question, together with Bolide, we have this integration done, so we can do it also through the software. So you need to track not only the PDC, we can make it happen through the fixed and the PDC cameras when we do the integration with a software. So we can discuss that further. This can happen actually. This can be done. I don't know if somebody else have any other questions before we move forward with the software part. If not, then guys, actually, once again, I want to thank you for joining us today for this webinar. And actually, you may wonder, or you may ask, what is ISS? Actually, we are an American company. This year, we celebrate 30 years of existence. So here is the reality is, ports and logistic terminals are not just a point of traffic, actually move the economy, and they are living systems. Each day, thousands and millions of dollars are moved through ports and logistics. That is the way economics be done in exchange worldwide. So actually, the intention of both of us together, Bolide and ISS, we want to transform complexity into real-time intelligence, delivering what? Safety, efficiency, visibility in a system that goes proactive way, is not reactive. One of the security parts, as Katrina mentioned during her intervention, is that situation happen, have another situation happen in different ports. Actually, what happened, our event happened, and it takes over what, 2 months, and everybody find what happened. Do auditing, nothing happened. They cannot find, or it happened before in other ports. I know, some actually default and the system break down, and they have no evidence. So actually, we plan is to work on this through, once again, safety, efficiency, operational efficiency as well. And you have to tell visibility, control, and proactive system. When you have everything under one system, when you have everything in a way that even you can be informed. So you will receive an email, you receive a chat when this event happened. So actually, even the operator in the control room, he will receive, this can be configured, and you can have a sound, pop up. I mean, this can be done different ways. At the end, one of the key part we make the difference is that at the end of this integration and its implementation together, 85% of the system is custom made based on the customer requirements and needs. So nothing is, on a can, is this way or either. No, this can be custom made. So moving forward on this, once again, we are 30 years. We have a US base with 19 global offices. We develop, we don't depend on third parties, so we have the patents and trademarks. We have over 2.2 million cameras, over our command. So we have supports over 720, and we have more than 450,000 projects deployed worldwide. So as mentioned too, so we have won some awards under US Commerce that's certified as an American company. Award winner, top vendors, NAA2 compliance. So, I mean, your investment, your projects are under American companies that actually build made in America. One of key factors asking them. Now, this is what we do. Another thing we can do too is, many times, I know investment is high in this port segment. So why you do all the integration, all you do the migration for new cameras, because I know the investment is high, we can work together to try to work with your existing infrastructure. So let's say we have a plan with Bolide to replace all the cameras. We can work together to do it back happen. So as a plan, as a deployment plan, so you can keep what you have. And actually, it also we need to review, but what you have, so you can do the transition part of this investment. It's another thing I need to mention too. So what secure cargo covers? We cover key verticals, right? So sea containers, we have rail containers, warehouse and logistics centers, we have manufacturing, container transportation, inland container terminals or dry ports, as you mentioned. So this is what we're going to see how it works. So we don't sell, we just go beyond selling a product, a license. We try to sell a value, make a differentiation. So at the end, what we're looking at, we don't see it as a cost. You can see it as an investment. You can see the ROI. Okay, if I invest this X amount of money, or the customer make this investment, how long will it take me to return this money? It's a business word, actually. For many, unfortunately, for many companies or CFO, they see security as an expense. But aside, we could dive deeper into our solution, you notice that we try to focus on give value and to give return on investment. So I don't say, oh, I acquired this solution from Bolide and ISS, and this is an expense. No, guys, this is a real value solution working together to make efficient your port, save you money, and even make more money. And at the end, you're going to see how this translates into a benefit for the customer, your customer. Either can be a port, can be once again a logistic hub, dry ports, or in a logistic center. So they can see how this can enhance their operation. And as in a way, and unfortunately too, I may say, for many they say, oh, I had to reduce human power. Now, going down human power, Katrina mentioned a good point, is about how we do in order to automate the system. As we reduce this, costs of security guards are high. So the intention is you have a single point of entry, you have even double or triple validation based on the requirement of the customer, and we make sure things happen. If there's, you have a red light, green, or even yellow one, there's a similar traffic light. You notice it's green, everything is okay. They do the registration, everything good, and they can pass through. Say something is missing, of course, the gate would not open. They had to, something happen. If yellow happened, something happened. But I will go deeper in a few minutes, in a few slides. So here, gate automation, as I mentioned again. So we have success cases in Brazil, Chile, and in Peru too, where we have make this happen in a sense of reducing from 4 to 5 minutes into 10 to 20 seconds, right? So it's a manual part, then we go automated part, in process time per time, and we have saved a lot of time. So also the peak. So we go from 12 to 120 trucks per hour. Imagine every truck you have outside the port terminal, logistics terminal, that is a lot of money. Or the time you have the container in the port, or the boat has to stay more time in the port. So in this way, you can, you can exit the ports, you have already the container, and they get out. And you can put another ship. This actually transforms into more income. So if you do 3 days and you can go do it in one, so you can download another port, another ship, and you move forward. So headcount is up without building new lanes. So you also can also enhance and improve this. So here is what ports get higher. You get a higher throughout average, removing typical gate bottom bar, reduce share of manual operation, detailed audit trail, so you can follow up inspection operation, transparency, and a high quality container inspection, automatic recording. So if something happens, you go into recording. In seconds, you can find what happened. You don't have to wait hours in this. So in overall reduction, costs, or in reducing costs, complex manual inspection, and unfortunately, this is also another part. In human intervention, there's no way, oh, you're my friend, go through. I didn't see anything. No, if you don't pass the process, of course, you would not be allowed to enter the port or exit the port if you also, something is missing in the process. So this is how we get this automation happen. And you have automatic control on container reading, license plate recognition, gate operation system, together with artificial intelligence. And here is a redesign, how we did before. So in the entrance gate, you have in a manual part, you have the truck arrival, then you have these manual documents you have to check, right? So you have a mismatch resolution window of it while you have some truck in the back waiting. This also causes congestion in the port. So you have manual exterior manual checking. So somebody's, is up with a board trying to check what happened here, calling somebody to answer. All this can be reduced. And then they go to the release. Okay, everything is okay. We fix what happened. You may enter. So this typically take what, 4 to 5 minutes. And you can count. You have 20 trucks, 50 trucks in the lane. So 5 minutes, 20 truck. Well, you have 100 minutes. So this can be what, 2 hours, almost 2 hours. So this is a way we can count on this. Now, if we do the workflow redesign here with our security card terminal, we have pre-advised register transaction. So it's a validation to the terminal operation system, integration between and so it passed through the automated container making recognition and transaction. So it's a single pool. It's automated seal presence. So you can see the seal is in the back. And then you have a marking with a manual check. So everything is done through AI, the integration with the cameras. And then you have the automated condition. And it's time-stop evidence with a video. So it's not just you have video that everything was so they see everything was fine. And then you have a section when somebody enter and a release. So as you can see, how this is the process and where we move from 4 to 5 minutes to 10 to 20 seconds. So this is even this is what including we included the automated container damage. As mentioned at the beginning of this introduction of this webinar, this costs an average $7.2 billion in cost. You know how much is the average cost per container? Can go between $300 to $1,500. So this cost, insurance, claims, and all the time we can reduce and avoid situations. So if something happened inside the ports, or somebody's coming inside the port with a damaged container, you guys can, or the port can document. They have evidence that the either way, can entrance or the exit, this container came already with a damage. So it's not the port fault, it's not the port responsibility. If something happened, but it's happened outside my building, outside my ports, so I will accept it. But if something complain against us, here guys, we have, this is what happened. This is the hour, this is they enter, this is how they enter, and this is stamp. Here is the evidence. So I mean, you can go reducing all this event, and paperwork and head counts, other people just checking on this back and forth. And once again, going from manual post to sectional management. So we got from manual. So imagine from 4 to 6 people to go down to 2. You have manual entrance, you have remote assistance in a control room. So you have everything controlled. Overtime, peak hours. So I mean, you have big lane, as seen over reports. This shaft shift, so events and claim. You have manual factor, and you have a scale with traffic without liner hiring. So everything you have already, even you can have a control of, somebody already entered or have the request, they're going to deliver the container. You have already planned. So everything is checked, double checked. So when they enter or they're going through, that's why we had the capacity to reduce it in such short time. And once again, reducing errors happen. We have evidence, and you have accuracy of OCR from between 98 to 99%. Play recognition also 98 to 99%. And you have manual correction, so between 1 to 2% maximum. So this is part also the system. So we will evidence high resolution, time stop. You have damage claim, reduce disputes, improve auditability, and speed of investigation. Once again, I've seen cases of 1 week, 2 days, 3 days, and there's no evidence. And these words of evidence showing, guys, this is not our problem. This problem arrives through the ports. So here's the evidence. No discussion, nothing happened, no waste of time. And we can focus on, trying to move more containers to the port. That's it. So also we can do the what? We can do custom per ecosystem, the integration into one system, one platform. And what this happen, and what is matter actually, you can custom scanning the bottleneck. So one single entrance, you have everything done. And once the container enter or the truck, you don't have to move to another lane in order to, let's try to scan the scanner. No, there's no way. You do it once. You had to get ID, image, the timestamp, inspection record. So, custom authority have everything in a single place, in a single transaction. And you can put all the analytics of the scanner too. So fewer manuals, reconciliation, faster clearance cycle, in a single source of truth for audits. So nobody can complain or say, oh, what happened here? You have this? Yeah, sure. So it's major coverage that can be done into a single entry, to a single source. So the automatic container control also to resolution camera, both sides of, you can, in both sides on the top, everything can be tracked, can be recorded, and you will see everything is fine or not. So AI done, so structured effect and surface will once again be detected, send it to the control room, and this guy can do also all the report, the tracking, have the image included to the report. So this is you have data condition report too, and you have claim operation, mentioned again, once again, before, you have fewer dispute and faster decision, faster even evidence. So what is a top tier? You move inspection from subjective to standardized AI review and very objective based on evidence. It's not, let me see what happened. No, here is the evidence. So you have you can search evidence library per container movement. Once again, need a container number, LPR, the license plate. I mean, there are different options where you can look for it. Even, as Katrina mentioned, what truck brand, color, are different options. If you don't remember, you can find out. But you find out, you can do all the track library of evidence tracking, so you can have that in order by days. So you can improve disputes, handling, and support revenue protection. And then this work can work in high traffic intensity. So there's no slowdown, there's no manual checks. Everything is done through this AI analytics and improve all the process we're trying to do and be more efficient. And here, as you know, guys, ports are complex operations. For us, this can become a strategic advantage, actually. In what faster gate throughout, so we can accelerate the process from manual to automated. The accuracy, so it's automation, reducing the amount of error. It's a continuous 24/7. It's like we need to stop. You have full operation transparency, so you have all the transaction done history, visual records, and performance reporting through what? When I mention, I will stop here for a moment. We have KPIs, key performance index. So the customer can say, okay, I want to check, I want to review, I need to trace, I need to track. How are we doing with our KPIs? So we say, how many containers enter with damage? We want to check before, now that we automate it. So this guy can have this report where they can show to the board's operation part, how they're doing, how they improve efficiency, how they have reduced those costs that many times they have to core into. So, and this goes to the next point, that when we move to optimize costs and planning, reducing labor costs, integrated with terminal operation system, with the TOS, we call it that. You can improve planning, efficiency, and performance. Actually, it's the one that ports are always looking at. So if I need to ship something and I need to go to a port where, instead of going, less than 24 hours, for instance, you have to wait, 72 hours or more before the information because they have a manual process, the time, blah, 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 blah. And this also for the customer side involve more cost. But if the port is in more efficiency, this cost will be translated, turned into to the end user. And they would rather, whenever they ship or whenever they receive the container, they will say, okay, I'd rather do it with this port because in this port, my cost is lower. So it's at both ways cost reduction that can even enhance this port operation in business. And here's, so we can see the key monitoring areas here. So we can go from the cranes, truck gates, the container yards, overland perimeter, trains, we have trains in and out. So this is what we can do it. Where we can have all the port part, custom being traced, being monitored with intelligence. So here's a cargo terminal. So it's a cargo terminal, what we have a structure with visual markers, so you can trace to, okay, this container, what containers are getting to the terminal. So it's automated control points with APR system can be done too. So we have auto, which plate, the cargo part, and the UVSS. This is what we do it, solution composition. So you have the SOI container number detection, we can be detected too. The inspection cargo vehicle, commercial surface, driver face detection and recognition, the LPR, license plate recognition, and you have the UVSS, that's like this one, says later, that is the on-the-vehicle surveillance system. So you can also check all over something at the terminal. Guys, something is entering wrong. Actually, in Brazil, they have found in the ports a lot of things that could be under the truck or under the container whenever they want either exit or enter the port. So this also can be a way to enhance the security part in the port and give more security, safety to the operations. Here is how we do it. How we do the consolidation of information. So you have the video, right? And we have from the front, the bottom, right? You have the left, the right, the top, the back. This is the way you're going to see everything happen. And how you're going to have the report seen. So all parts are being covered. As I mentioned before, this you can see, okay, this enter something happening here. This truck didn't have, the security at the back, or something was very strengthened, was under the vehicle. One of the sides was damaged, was hit, which we reported beforehand. So this is how thing happen here. And then you have the cargo terminal in how they can have the essential truck data, so we can ensure the secure, accurate, secure, efficient operation. You have in trucks the vehicle information, on what time they arrive, our date and time, the license plate, driver picture, photo, imaging, and the trailer license plate. So as you can see, the ecosystem is under one single report. And in container, the container number, IMDG code, the size, either 20, 40, IQ, if there's any damage, if there is a seal detection, and if there's any marking on the container. So these two ways you can because the truck recovery system to have. Here is how the container are displayed. You can see it also on the receipt. And this is how way you enter, right? You log in into the operator, you select either the lanes to monitor, what you want to the monitor. And once start it over, you will see what happens. So you can trace, you can have, and once again, if something happened, you notice that you will get the away of the report. So see here, it's a vehicle license plate image. Everything can be checked beforehand. So it's a very short way you can see how to make it happen. Also, I mentioned again, the optimization dashboard information. This can be custom-made visualization of KPIs, the key performance indicator, indicate bottlenecks, control, the transport processing, try to reduce downtime, and bottom line, improve terminal profitability. So, and this, it can be custom-made. The customer decide how they want this to be seen. This is how dashboard works. So you can have another look. You choose the period, what is required, in a very easy and simple way. And then you will, what you will need, what you require, you select. Then the simultaneously you request the analytics you want to see this seen. So you select what is required, and then you have this in a very easy way. The all information, all the indicators you need. And you can do a custom report too as well. Just by clicking, selecting, choosing what you want to see, and then you will get generate reports. And the report can be downloaded for it to PDF or CDS format to be later on transformed into Excel. So this dashboard. Here's the IA power container inspection. So it's neural networks. Actually, neural network, we trained the neural network to perform automated. So this is a process of, take some time, but once you do some tests, these are already done, but I want to explain how we do it. So it takes some time, it's a process, and then when done train, it can be deployed. So if there's any analytics that the customer require in order to be developed, we had the capacity as well, as I mentioned how it happened. So at the end, what the rail ensures a railway inspection, even with high traffic, and then we have consistent results in order to avoid reduced operating fatigue. And these are scalable without additional manpower. So you can start one size or one lane, then you can go expanding the lanes it requires. And there's the validation. See, you can see prevent fault detection. You have warranty inspection integrity data. Markers here, you can see it's container, the truck, everything is documented. I think here is it's a video, but you can see what they're trying to show here is how the system works. As you've seen, how the tracking is not done. It's on a live So here's another mention, as mentioned before, the automated damage detection system. As you can see, guys, here, the system can easily detect any type of damage from structural deformation, dents, holes, surface damage, integrity violations. So you have early detection and you have a dispute prevention and a data reporting to the shipping agency or the customer, whoever enters the point to be delivered. This is another, the ads, how it works and how the system, you can see live how it works. So you guys can easily see, identify all the damage the container may have. So you do all the part of, in order to the operator can identify and do the proper reporting. So you can already have the markings, details. Identification of different damage. And that was a part of the report. Here is a seal control tool. It's a AI based. You can see the presence verification, validation. See here's handle, the cam, the bolt. See, it did mention the bolt that's already in. And you can see in the back, right? So you can even support different formats and standards. And the intention is to try to ensure the container integrity. When they exit the port, the integration was sealed. So why did it arrive without that seal? We make sure that this seal was on, and we had a reporting part that confirms and as a evidence that this seal was on whenever that container leave the port. So here's another video on how it works. Is it control? So you can see what camera can identify, pass over, and can confirm how this truck and container leave the port. Very fast process, not very hectic. It's make it easy. The marking here also too. Gross weight, maximum gross, the net cubic meter here. All the information also is a part of the report. So payload, warning labels, is any warning labels, and any additional markings. So it's already subtracted directly from the container. So you can have the manual part, you also have the video part that need to be complemented, and you can verify that but actually both information should be the same. Shouldn't be any difference whenever either enter or exit the reports. Here's detection and marking too, how it happened. Yeah. So what we have optional, once again, is the UVSS. It's a cost-effective solution, visual inspection under the vehicle. So you can trace under the vehicle what happened, right? You can relate it to the plate recognition, and whenever you inspect, is actually in one report, as you can see in the top here. So on the vehicle, you have the front, the back, and under what you've seen. So, and you can also be translated to the terminal operation system. Once again, phase X, the face recognition. with security is you can check once again the face, truck information, everything should if you're going to are you going to send somebody to deliver a truck, that person will be the same because I'm going to pre-register this guy into the system, and when everything is fine, the gate will say, okay, you are already authorized, get in. Truck information, LPR on the vehicle, everything is okay, fine, enter. So this is a train too, similar, it's a composition, how it works. So a lot of training in the Caribbean, but this is also how it also can be done. Doing the same, the train operation system also, the gate operating system, the wagon, the arrival time, the number, the container size, damage, image, similar, but it's focused on trains. The train too is a very brief, similar. How the easy platform, very user friendly, can be easy be done. Say information of arrival, date, time, how many platform numbers, details. Information similar to containers, but also can be done. Here is another way, the inspection similar to the ISS, but this is focused on train, but also can be done into trains. And some success cases, right? Can be done. In the Middle East, for train reports, how we do it. Then we have, once again, for train gate, imagine full data processing under 2 seconds. Here we have also again Saudi Arabia. So our ports, Latin America with care. We have it here in Mexico, Manzanillo, Mazatlan, Ecuador, Peru, Chile, in Valparaíso, San Antonio, in Argentina, Brazil, several different in Brazil, different, and in Mexico. Recently, we completed one in Guatemala as well, and we have one in Panama with we have oil where they transport oil and gas in Panama. So this is what we have done before, already implemented, and intention we are open to listen requirements needed, work together, and again with our engineering teams. And one key point here for us is all proof of concept can be done because it's not just showing videos and so on. Whenever there's a potential of the one project, we have the capacity to deploy engineering team to any area of the Caribbean, and we can do a proof of concept. So customer can taste, they can see the reality before they do any purchase. And here, in Brazil, Toboca do Ceará too. What we do it, right? And what we have here, reduction, we reduce between 40 to 60% in vehicle inspection, 35% in lane processing capacity, 70% manual inspection, and you have 700% digital access, traceability. So you have a centralized command. My 242 cameras you have. 2 petabyte storage here. You have with the KPI faster incident response time, 60% of real-time operation visibility, forensic video too, and then you have advanced analytics, and then actually we went from manual to all fully intelligent smart environment. Efficiency was improved between 30 to 40%. Reduced 25% of security-related operational costs, and you have a complete digital evidence platform. Also, you have Brazil once again, Port of PSM, you have Port Itapua, while in Brazil, as Ipona de Bocas, this is in Mexico, right? And as you can see here, in Peru, you have Guatemala, as mentioned here, Puerto Santo Tomas, and you have Peru, DP Water. So it's a few ones that we have done in Latin America, and South Africa, Iquique in Chile, Maceió, Chile, San Antonio, in French Polynesia, and this is what we are headquarters. And, so I don't know, you guys, you have any question, any doubts? I will be more than pleased to answer your question. I think I have a few questions down here. So, no, it's actually your solution can be either English or Spanish. It's also well, you answer, Katrina, either way. So, any question on our solution, ISS solution? Any doubts?
Feel free to drop your questions in the chat so that we can answer them here for you.
No question, no doubts.
Well, we did share our contact information, so if any questions do arise, I think we have one. It's just ready. Thank you too, Rudy. Buddy.
Yeah. So we want to
Contact
thank you guys.
information was shared. So if you have any questions outside of the presentation, feel free to reach out to either of us so that we can answer those questions for you.
Yeah. Any question now, please, anytime to reach out to us. We will to please to actually be your advisors in any project you have focusing on ports and logistics. And we can show real evidence, even beyond that. If the project many times customers want to say, oh, I want to see how if this is a fact in Brazil, we can put you in contact with the ports authority in Brazil. And you can see how this happened. Not only in Brazil, once again, Mexico, in other parts, and even Canada. We have projects done in the United States, in Canada ports. So, but actually, your question is always, you guys were in Latin America. That's why I show Latin America. So, from the part, it's a lot of thanks so much for joining us today. And we are open, we are ready to go together and work together in any projects you may have on these verticals. Katrina, you have any word?
Agreed. Thank you, Jose. Appreciate your time today and bringing the solution and the intelligence to the customers. I just wanted to mention that the session has been recorded. So if you did miss any key components of the presentation or you want to share it with any of your customers or any potential port logistics operations teams, you can do so. It will be available on our Bolide website. So that's bolideco.com. And it'll also be available for ISS as well. So if we need to leverage this presentation today and share it with any of your customers, you can do so. Once it becomes available, we will circulate so that you can have access to it. Thanks again for your time. And just to note, there will also be a series of these webinars between ISS and Bolide. So please stay tuned to the next webinar that we will be hosting on a different topic or a different vertical so that you can have the appreciation for the collaboration and integration of both platforms. Thanks again.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Have a great afternoon.